Germany Interior Minister said that Germany is doing everything possible to restart deportations of criminals to countries like Afghanistan and Syria after a refugee allegedly stabbed a police officer in Mannheim. Germany is considering resuming deportations of criminals to Afghanistan, the Interior Minister said on Tuesday. Germany stopped repatriating migrants to Afghanistan after the Taliban took power in 2021 because it does not deport people to countries where they are threatened by death. But after an Afghan asylum seeker was accused of fatally stabbing a police officer in Mannheim last Friday, authorities are now reconsidering this policy. You see, that's why it is very good for each and every one of us to consider the way we conduct ourselves, the way we live our lives. There's an African saying that says that when one finger gets rubbed in oil, it affects the whole fingers. Because of one man's sin now, even the innocent Afghans and Syria will be caught up in the restarting of this policy. Because of one man's sin now, a lot of innocent Afghans and Syria people will be deported back to their countries. We know how these countries are at the moment. But it is also paramount that Germany have to restart this policy to deter people from such countries in the future not to be thinking to carry out such actions. Because the first obligation every country owes its citizen is to secure life and property. And that is why Germany is reconsidering these steps, yes, of taking them back to their countries. My heart reaches out to the police officers who get injured while they were exercising their constitutional duties or carrying out their duties. Is very, very painful. I wish them all a quick recovery, and I hope that they will quickly come out of this trauma, because it's not that easy. Because you equally have to consider the mental health, the emotional effect, the psychological effect this kind of acts we have on these police officers and their family. So I just hope their various states will do whatever it takes to help them, which Germany is good at doing, for them to quickly come out of such trauma. But then in the future, Germany will then have to pass out stricter laws when it comes to some countries. This is quite understandable, because they need to protect their people, they need to protect their territory. It is clear to me that people who pose a potential threat to Germany's security must be deported quickly. I am also quite adamant that Germany's security interest clearly outweighs the interests of those affected. You see? Which is correct, because the first constitutional obligation of any country is to protect life and property. That is why German security interest outweighs those that are affected, which is quite 100% understandable. That is why we are doing everything possible to find ways to deport criminals and dangerous people to both Syria and Afghanistan, she added. Suspects' background in the spotlight. The debate around deporting asylum seekers to countries deemed unsafe has reignited days ahead of European elections, in which far-right parties are expected to perform strongly. Yes, far-right people are gaining more grounds day by day in Europe as a whole, not just Germany, because they are singing the immigration ringing tone that the vulnerable people of Europe, some of them that don't understand politics, want to hear. And that is why you see that far-right keeps getting ground. They forget that at the end of the day, you still need legal migrants to fill in your work shortages, to fill in your aging population. Yes, they don't understand that aspect of it. And it is part of their blame, because you live in digital age. You have access to internet. It is late for you to use internet to educate yourself, to understand the policies of your country, to understand your politicians. Yes, but an average European is too interested in getting facts about these things. As long as they go to work, they have money to pay their bills, they have money to enjoy their life. They don't really care much about politics. That is the truth in Europe. Friday's fatal stabbing of a police officer occurred at an anti-Islamic rally in Mannheim. The suspect was later identified by media as a 25-year-old man who had arrived Germany as an asylum seeker in March 2013. Although he was initially refused asylum, he was not deported because he was 14 at a time. German Thai board build reported, because he was underage, a minor, so they could not deport him. The suspect subsequently went to school and married a German woman of Turkish origin in 2019, with whom he had 2 children, Spiegel reported. Authorities reportedly did not view the suspect as a risk, and his neighbors later said that he did not appear to harbor his extremist beliefs. So it's quite a pity that this situation is the way it is. My heart goes out to, it's quite a pity that a whole lot of innocent Afghans and Syrians will be affected by this, but at the end of the day, German security interests, it is the highest priority in this kind of situation or in general. Yes.